This video will take a look at multiplying by 10, 100,000 and 10,000 and 100,000 and so on. So we'll just do these examples. So we'll just start with 3 times 10. Write down the answer to that. Okay. Definitely 30, right? What happened though? What happened is we started with 3.0 because 3 is 3.0, isn't it? And when you multiply by 10, the decimal point goes one place to the right. See that? And you get 30, right? So how about 0.03 multiplied by 10? What happens? 3 cents. If you have if a piece of candy costs 3 cents and you buy 10 of those, what are you going to spend? 10 pieces of candy for 3 cents each. You're going to spend 30 cents. 0.30. You agree with that, right? If we want, we can write this out. 0.0310. Multiply it. Okay? 0 times 3 is 0. 0, 0 everywhere. Put down a 0 for a placeholder. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. Add everything. 0, 3, 0, 0. Count the decimal places in the problem. 1, 2. 1, 2. Put the decimal place here. So that's 0.3, isn't it? Or 0.30, same thing, right? 0.3. So you can do that if you like. But I just want you to see the pattern that if you multiply by 10, if we take 0.03 and multiply by 10, we just need to move that decimal point one place to the right. Okay, and so it goes right here, and that's where you get 0.3. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you go 1.47 times 10, you just have to move decimal point over there. And let's think about this. A pen costs $1.47. If I buy 10 pens, what am I going to spend? Well, surely $14.70, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? So move the decimal point one space to the right, and there it goes, and that's that. Of course, you could write it all out if you like, and multiply it the long way. 1.4710. There's nothing stopping you, and you should come up with the same answer. Okay. So write down the answer to this one. 0.0024 times 10. If you multiply by 10, just move the decimal point one place to the right. So it becomes a bigger number, and one decimal place bigger, basically. Does that make sense? So decimal point is here now, and of course stick a 0 in front. Is that okay? Multiplying by 100. 4 times 100 gives what? 4 $100 bills would be how many dollars? $400, right? So this time we started with 4.0, because 4 is just 4.0, let's say, and we skipped the decimal point 2 spaces to the right. So if you times it by 100, the decimal place goes 2 places to the right. See that? And then you end up with 400, right? What about 0.04 times 100? If a piece of candy costs 4 cents, how much would 100 of those cost? 100 of those pieces of candy. Well, it'd be $4, wouldn't it? Okay. So we started with 0.04, and we can skip the decimal point 2 spaces to the right, and of course that's 4.0, let's say, or 4. Okay, because decimal point is here now, isn't it? 4 point something, right? 4. Okay, how about $2.50 times 100? Okay, if something costs $2.50 and you were going to get 100 of those, what would you spend? A loaf of bread is $2.50. How much is 100 loaves of bread? Well, 10 of them would be $25, right? 100 of them would be $2.50, wouldn't it? $250. So once again, we start with the 250, okay? We're times it by 100, so we move the decimal point 2 spaces to the right, okay? How about this guy? Can you write down the answer? 0.0089 times 100. If you times it by 100, it's going to get bigger. How much bigger? Move the decimal point 2 spaces to the right, and you get 0.89, or basically 0.89. So that's this number is 100 times bigger than this number, basically, right? I guess another way of looking at it is, look, it's okay, 0.8900. If you want to look at it that way, and then compare that to what we started with, you see? Basically, we started with 89. We times it by 89 10,000s. We times it by 100. We get 8,900 10,000s. Of course, you don't have to write these zeros in, so just 0.89, right? Anyway, okay. How about thousands? 5 times 1,000. $5,000, obviously, have to be, wouldn't it? So what I did was I started with the number 5. Or 5 point something. I times it by 1,000. I skip the decimal place 1, 2, 3 places to the right, and of course I get 5 as the decimal place here, so I need to stick in zeros, so that's 5,000, right? So if you multiply it by 1,000, you're skipping the decimal point 3 places to the right. So what are you going to do with this? You're starting with 0.005, you're timesing it by 1,000. What are you going to get? Times by 1,000, skip the decimal place 3 places to the right, and that's 5 point whatever, or just the number 5. Okay. So what about this? 12.87 times 1,000. You're going to skip the decimal place where? 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right, stick in a 0, and we get 12870, and the decimal point is there. So 12,870. 12870, right? How about this? Times by 10,000. Okay, when it was times by 1,000, we skipped the decimal place 1, 2, 3 jumps. And look, there's 1, 2, 3 zeros here. If you're timesing by 10,000, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So you're actually going to skip the decimal point 4 spaces. So I start with 1.45. I skip the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to the right. Stick in 0, 0, and that's 14500. The decimal point is there. So 14,500. 14500. Okay? And so on and so forth. Can you get this one? You start with 97814. You're timesing it by 100,000. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. How many places are you going to skip the decimal point over? 1, 2. Take a wild guess. 5, right? 3, 4, 5. Stick in a couple of zeros. 9781400. I'll put a comma here and a comma here. Can you read what that number is? So this is ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. What comes after 100,000s? Millions? Yep. 9,781,400. Right?